Hello, and welcome to a special edition of the pharmaphorum podcast. I'm your host, Eloise McLennan, and today we're kicking off a brand new series to celebrate a major milestone, 10 years of Frontiers Health. Now, over the past decade, Frontiers Health, a global event hosted and powered by Eversana, has earned its reputation as a place where digital health, breakthrough technologies, venture investment, and ecosystem building come together in meaningful and often surprising ways. And to mark this 10th anniversary, we'll be speaking with key voices from across the community, innovators, investors, entrepreneurs, and of course, longtime friends of the conference, to reflect on what makes Frontiers Health unique and to explore where the future of health is heading. Now, there's no better way to start this series than by speaking with someone who's played a central role in shaping the conference experience itself. So I'd like to welcome Kristin Milburn, who is SVP, Marketing Ecosystem and Strategy at Frontiers Health, also a driving force behind the conference, and somebody who knows exactly what it takes to pull off an event of this scale and ambition. So Kristin, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you, Eloise. I'm excited to talk about our upcoming 10th anniversary edition. I mean, one thing I will say, because you mentioned the building of Frontiers, my contribution to the Frontiers Health ecosystem has been in multiple different ways. When I was at Novartis in their digital medicines team, I was a speaker at Frontiers Health. We did an event with Sandoz looking for new innovations, and we had the final, ceremony at Frontiers Health. When I was at Headspace, I was just, so representing the startup. I was a speaker representing what Headspace was doing in healthcare as an employee of Healthware, which was acquired by Eversana and was the original founder of Frontiers Health. I was helping support the building of some of the sessions. And now I lead the team that actually puts on the conference. So I've kind of come at Frontiers Health from a lot of different angles. And the thing that I would say stands out to me the most about that experience is that I've really kind of experienced the ecosystem that is Frontiers Health and really value it. And I would say that is the thing from as a startup or as a pharma company, representing a pharma company or representing the agency that puts it on, or now the team that actually produces it. It's the ecosystem that stands out to me. It just brings together special people.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's start at the beginning. So you've been involved, as you say, with making the conference at so many different levels. And now here we are at the 10-year mark. So what's going through your head as this year's event draws closer?
I'm very excited because it is quite a milestone for 10 years. When Frontiers Health first rolled out in Europe, there was no other conference like this. There was no health conference focused on innovation. There were some like Web Summit and other things that were focused on technology and digital whatnot, but not focused on health innovation. And so, but of course now, 10 years later, there are more conferences that are kind of starting to focus on that area. But we've been very consistent. We've always maintained a certain size. We're not trying to be the biggest. We don't have a trade show floor. We've maintained something where we curate the content very specifically. We make sure that we are delivering information and content and that we are bringing together a solid ecosystem. And that was a very intentional decision made by the chairman of Frontiers, Roberto Ascione, who I know you'll be speaking with as well. It was very intentional the way it was over the past 10 years. So I feel proud to have, contributed, and I'm very excited about this year's event.
So it's all very carefully created to make sure that people who attend, they take away something that is of value to them. But what do you personally hope attendees will take away from this year's edition? Are there any particular themes or experiences that you're excited about?
Yeah, the most important thing is the theme that we have this year is 10 by 10. And this is a reflection on the past, from whence we came, like where we, what happened in the last 10 years. But of course, we don't want to dwell on where we came from, but we just want to reflect and have at least a moment to acknowledge the massive amount of telemedicine, virtual care, remote diagnosis, all of that stuff exploded during COVID, right? And of course, now AI is reshaping everything. And so it's a reflection on the past 10 and then setting the agenda for the next 10 years. And so we have been speaking with all of our contributors that are going to be at Frontiers, and we've kind of put that in their head to be thinking about when you present your content, please think about it in that framing. And so what we really want to do this year, what I'm excited about, is set the agenda for health innovation for the next 10 years. That's what I'm excited about.
That brings to mind a speech last year from Jacob Usgaretz, who spoke about we stand on the shoulders of giants, of
Yes.
all of these innovations come from the people before us. Now, you've had a front row seat to so many of incredible speakers and moments over the years. Is there a particularly favorite memory or standout moment that captures the spirit of the conference for you?
I would probably say Sylvia Cerolini, who is an innovator who was inspired by a rare disease that her daughter got. She had no background in healthcare. Her background was in data science, and she was just a motivated mother trying to find a solution for her daughter. I mean, I feel like I could cry just talking about it because she just got it, like she's made such a massive impact. And we all know how hard it is to bring a drug to get to even a clinical trial phase. But doing that within rare disease is even harder. And doing that independently without backing of a major pharma company is even more. So like she is just such an inspiring figure. And so it's someone who took her knowledge of technology and data science and applied it to healthcare, and then created this organization, Eyes on the Future, to bring attention and raise money to, fight for a cure. And so I think it's that one stands out to me, but all the patient innovators, because a lot of innovation in general, whether it's healthcare or any other industry, is created because someone noticed a gap or someone noticed a problem that needed to be solved, right? And so, especially in the healthcare world, that usually means it's either themselves or it is a mother for their child or someone for their parent, and when it's a life or death situation, or in the case of Sylvia, for her daughter potentially going blind if there's not a cure, it's health is the bottom, like everything that like you can't have a good life without health, right? And so it's like a very important aspect, I mean, being able to shop faster for your food and not have to go to the supermarket, it impacts your lifestyle, but it doesn't impact your life, right? So that's why health is so inspiring, and why I chose career-wise to be in healthcare, right? Which I think many of us share.
I think that you're absolutely right. And it's one piece of advice I'd give anybody who maybe hasn't attended Frontiers before. Do not miss that opening keynote, because we had ePatient Dave last year. We had Sylvia, as you mentioned. And it's, as you say, identifying those gaps in the market, but also doing something about it and not waiting for permission, not taking those barriers as given, but actually going out and doing something about it. I think that's such a great way of describing it. Now, that would be my advice for people who maybe hadn't attended before. What would your advice be for someone who may be attending Frontiers for the first time?
Yeah, I think don't miss the main stage plenary, right? Not just the patient opening, which of course is probably the most emotional, impactful, inspiring that we ever have. But the main stage plenary is really curated very carefully. And then, and the way the conference is run, we have a main stage plenary in the morning, and then we have a nice long networking lunch followed by breakouts. And my other piece of advice is, because we have such depth of content, is really study the agenda and kind of decide what sessions you want to go to ahead of time, so that you are able to that you don't miss something. The good news is we'll have a new app, and it'll make choosing those sessions, which ones you want to go to, easier than ever this year. But also, anyone who buys a ticket for Frontiers Health gets access to our video library, which we just launched this year, so that if you do have two sessions that you really want to go to, you can make that choice knowing that you'll be able to view the content of the other session in the video portal following the event itself.
Now, don't worry about wearing your best running shoes, because we've got you covered. No one can be in 8 places at once.
Right.
So we've talked a little bit about the past in terms of the last 10 years that we've been looking at. We're talking about 10 by 10. And looking ahead the next 10 years, this is the question that we're asking all of our guests on this little podcast series, which is, if you had to choose one word or phrase to sum up what you think the future of health is going to look like, what would it be and why?
I would say there's going to be more automation. I feel like, and this is going to be more than one word, and maybe we could pull out a word from my what I'm going to say that I think will be in the future, is kind of like a dashboard for your health. So that at some point there will be a way to integrate your wearable data. You know, I have my Apple Watch, I got my Oura Ring, I got lots of different data points that I collect personally. Then I have all the EHR data that my doctors are collecting, but each doctor has a different EHR, at least here in the US. I think the holy grail is integrating all of that data into one place. And there's a lot of startups that are starting to try to go there. There's a lot of hurdles for integration of that data. But I think my hope, I guess, is in the next 10 years that there will be a meaningful solution created so that people have a personal dashboard of all of their prescription data, everything from their physician side, as well as their personal tracking of all their device data, so that you can make informed decisions about your own health. So I don't know, what word would you pick out of that? You're the editor.
A dashboard of you. That would be
Dashboard of you. Yeah,
a dash of you. Well, Kristin, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for all of the energy and vision that you bring to Frontiers Health as well. We're excited to see what this year's conference has in store. But that's it for our very first anniversary series episode. We'll be back soon with more fun conversations from across the Frontiers Health community, past, present, and future. And as we count down to the 2025 event in Berlin this November. Thank you very much for listening.
See you there.
And that concludes another episode of the pharmaphorum podcast. You can find more information about this episode, including a download link and information about previous installments at pharmaphorum.com/podcasts. The pharmaphorum podcast is also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Podbean, and pretty much wherever else you download your other podcasts from. Just search for pharmaphorum and follow and hit subscribe. Of course, don't forget to visit our website itself, where you can sign up for daily and weekly news and analysis bulletins. And do follow us on Blue Sky and LinkedIn at pharmaphorum. That's all for now. Thank you for listening.